Welcome to Build Stuff and Bike. Bathroom fitting tips. What did I get paid? In part 1, we discussed the preparation of bathroom fitting and covered the toilet, tiling, screen and all the preparation ready to do part 2. In part 2, we can actually show you how I fit the tiles, screen and toilet and what I actually got paid for the job. Right, so I'll sort all these bits out now. The flush valve, that's your kit, because it's a close couple, that's your donut and clamps. Hopefully that's the right system. Might not be, I'll have a look. I've got my fill valve. Okay. Got my brackets. I've got some more, another donut here, that looks a bit. I've got my clamp. So I'm just going to make this toilet up now. I'm not going to run too much through it. I'll speak to you later. So tiles are all down. Okay, so tomorrow, and I've got my nice, that's the best I can do with that. It's once that's grouted up and siliconed, it's got a slight fall to allow water to run off, and it will get grouted and siliconed up, and it's on waterproof board. A lot better than before, but not perfect by any means. Shower screen can now come across because we've now got that nice level bits with a slight fall, as you can see. And toilet, got issues with that, so there's a rocker one, but I'm not sure. I need to sort out that toilet. So that's it, so hold tight. End of day 3. Good morning, it's Saturday the 24th, so day 4. It took a while this, but anyway, right, toilet. Had a few issues with bits and bobs, been to the plumbers merchants. This is where this the assistant will sit. So this is gonna have to be added to. Customer will want painting and tidying up, we'll see. Gotta get rid of these, angle grind them off. The cold feed, got to turn the water off. I'll solder an elbow on there, down, and then I'll run flexi tail off of the piston, and we'll run it through there so you can isolate the toilet. So I'll sort that out on a push fit, so it's easy to just pull the toilet out if needed through that hole. I've got my donut ready to go. I've got a multi-tool the skirting out so we can push it up against the wall, so that's that. I couldn't get the trim bit there, but we'll just grout in there. Shower screen come across now. So today I'm going to grout that and grout that, so tonight I can hopefully get the screen on. I'm going to grout this when I leave tonight. I'm going to mess about with the toilet and get that done. So hopefully by tonight we've got the screen in. We've grouted this, we've grouted this, we've grouted that when we've left, and we've got the toilet in situ and connected up. So that means the customer has got the toilet, she can have a shower. I've got to take this bloody door off and plane it so I can get a variable threshold on there, which is yeah. So what I've done, lots of adhesive underneath on waterproof board. Always when you tile, always leave a nice little 1mm, 2mm gaps like here, if you look. So there, if that was too tight you wouldn't get enough silicone in, but that will become really watertight because you've got to have at least a mil. I've cleaned the bath edge, so when I've packed loads of silicone in there, grout in there, all the way back, it will go in properly, okay, on this repair. So always clean that area off. I'll scrape that out a bit more, so that then you got your gaps. Look, grout all there, I'll silicone behind there. I couldn't really get the trim there because it's the way I've had to fold this round, but it looks a lot better than it did. So make sure I pack plenty in. I clean my lines off with little McDonald's stirrers. These are good top tip. Clean them off, look, good for a 3 or 2mm gap. I'm making sure I keep this area really clear because this is getting the silicone because of the slight movement you'll get between the bath. Grout is flexible, but it's not as flexible as your silicone long term. So I've packed it all in there, cleaned it out, letting it go off a little bit, letting that go off a little bit. Our silicone behind there. And I'm just starting on here. So when you grout these metros, I put a load on and then let it sit for a little bit just to go to the right consistency so you can get it in, because it's quite a lot to grout. and then use a lovely Marshalltown grout float. So that's what I'm doing now. Just going to do the first gentle wipe with my wash boy. I always use a wash boy on metros because they can get away from you. Secret of grouting is to always do a little bit at a time, okay? Otherwise it will get away from you. Wash boys are good, people moan about them. As long as you rinse, make sure this is in good condition, rinse it out thoroughly and do it, and then I use a brand new sponge afterwards, so that you get that finesse. Alright, so the first wipe is with this gently, and then in the grooves on the metros I go over with a brand new sponge every time. Alright, hold tight. Because I've wet the grout back a bit, it's a bit like plastering. I then go over with my stick, because metros look great, but if you have too much grout in like there, it looks blotchy. So to get that nice detail, you need a nice stick, and I take it back to about there. So you get that lovely, just nice sharp look. Because people have it too blotchy, and it doesn't look. You'll see when I clean that off. So we're on I think I did a 2mm on there. So I take it back just with my stick. It's still a bit wet, look, because I just wash boyed it. So you just get it with that nice detail look, nice and smooth. It's all about the timing and practice. And then when I go over the wash boy now, it will just smooth that grout out, look, and it will look just lovely. Lovely. Okay, so there you go. I use that, or these are the McDonald's stirrers. Okay, and then I'm just gonna wash boy, second one. So what you do, give it a good thing. Secret to the wash boy is people don't rinse them out enough. I do find, yeah, they can. It's all about timing. You have to make sure the grout's gone a bit harder than normal than what you do as a normal sponge. But I always like the wash boy, especially with metros, because it's your get out, because it will cover a big area, and if your grout is going off too quickly, this will save you, because it will you can cover a lot of ground. But see that water still coming out, you've got to be patient with it. That's it. So that's got quite a lot out now, look. So again, we'll just clean that haze off. You can go in the grout joint now, because it's firm enough, look. And then just see how nice they're coming up. So just, that one's a bit shallow, but it sort of fills it. Bit of a, and what I'll do then, I'll go over with a brand new sponge in a minute to finish off. So we'll let that, oh, that's the customer's soap bowl gone. Alright, so that's, there you go. Right, we'll leave that for a minute. So, variable thresholds on. So I anticipated the height of the hardy, 6mm on the tile, 8mm plus adhesive. So you're going up about 18mm, okay? It was already slightly high anyway, so that goes on nicely. You just drill 7mm holes, got to be careful of pipes. Push it in, but I will use a bead of silicone around to keep it still, or foam. I'll have a look later, but the problem is the door, it's a beast of a door. I've got to take this off and plane the bottom. I'm going to reroute the pipe in. Had to use this to cut it because it was right on the edge of the fitting, so you couldn't use your tool. Then I've used my other tool to clean it out that way. I'm just finishing that off now, and then I'm going to get a compression elbow on that and bring it down. So I'm just cutting the rear skirt in behind the toilet pan to allow the toilet to sit firmly up against the wall, as it's a close couple. I've also piped up my cold fee with an isolation valve full bore and then into plastic to go into the toilet pan. Okay, so 110mm waste there, that was existing. I'll put a bit of silicone around that to it because it's used, but the seal's in good condition. If it's all ripped, then you've got to put a new one in. But I put a bit of silicone on, and I got my McAlpine Flexi on there. Don't get the pattern ones. Put a bit of silicone around that just to hold it, because they can come off. Again, plumbers will say you shouldn't mix silicone and gaskets, so I just think, yeah, I do, and I've never had a problem. So yeah, I've had a problem when I haven't. So the next step is to, it all fits in there. That is going to have a flexi coming from the system. Got my cold feed all isolated and water back on. Make sure you use joint compound on compression fittings. Make sure you use the inserts, the super seal on plastic and the non-super seal. These ones on compression if you're using plastic, so it goes in further. So next step is to put the system on, make all that up, hold tight. It's a bit tricky, but put cold feed in there, look. Isolation valve, brand new. Plastic and a flexi into the fill valve. Fill valve needs adjusting. Flush valve's alright, no leaks. So I've just got to silicone that tomorrow, silicone the back and everything, so it's all good. And I'm on the screen, so we're just putting the screen in. Yeah, screen's on. You screw it from the inside with a 3mm drill bit. That's screwed to the wall, all plumb. I had to chisel out some of the tar, so I didn't think about when I did the quote. So we're siliconing there. So I'm just going to put the bottom parts on now and grout the floor and go home. Just grouting the floor now, so I'm just mixing up my grout. Want it like, that's a bit too runny, so I'll mix a bit more. And I'll show you what I do quickly on there. Screen's on, cleaned up a bit, it's looking good. So just getting it in all the cracks. Look. And then you move it. To move it, you hold the grout float at a sharp angle. To push it in, you hold it flat, okay? So you go like this and then flat, and that you can sort of see when it's gone in, okay? So that's what I'm going to do all the way around. So that way, moves it, look. Get it on the line, flat, push in, look at that. So this will be done soon. Hold tight. Look at that.
Amazing!
So just need to polish off tomorrow, but nice little tiles. Toilet's all working. Screen's up, we just got to silicone it tomorrow. And the tiles are on, so looks a lot better, doesn't it? So fantastic. Hold tight. So today, day 5. God. Just cleaning up really. Silicone, toilet, shower screen. Try and cut the bottom of this beast of a door without taking it outside. Right pain. Need 2 people really to get it down there. Yeah, huge. So I'm going to plane that off now. Sorry, circular saw it off because it needs like 3 or 4mm off. I'm going to attempt to do that. Hold tight. So what I did, I green taped it. This is the bottom of the door. As you can see, there's no room really. So I've still got my mask on. There's no room. It's so heavy. I don't want to get 2 people in because it'll cost the customer more. So I've laid it down. Bathroom's in there, look. Just fits. I couldn't get my trap saw on because there's no width, look. And can't move it down anymore to keep it flat. So I've just, hang on, try and get this bloody mask off. So what I did, green taped it, got my plunge saw. This isn't a plunge saw, look, it's a track saw, battery operated, 18-volt, lovely jigsaw. Set the depth. Always have the blade so that it just protrudes past the door slightly. You get a better cut. You can see the slight imperfections where I plunged it. So what I did, I pulled the guard. Let me try and show you this. It's hard when I haven't got my try. So there's that. You pull your guard off, hold it like that on the line with the 2 marks, keeping it as square as you can. And then I just plunged down, okay, and then moved it along very slowly and plunged down at the side, and it's cut it pretty good. I've taken off, look, about 7mm. I'm hoping that's right. So I'm just going to check it now, and then I'll have to paint the bottom of it. Obviously, it's a bathroom door. This would expand and contract if it's not sealed. So I'm not going to wing it. I'm going to have to try and lift the bloody thing, test it, get me little airbags, and then we'll see how that goes. And then I'll just touch it with some paint, and then get on with some other stuff while that dries, and we'll put it on later. Hold tight. She's on, look. and it works. It was just on the limit really, so it shuts lovely. Just touches very slightly on there, but that will just wear away. I'll chisel a bit off the bottom, just get some sandpaper under there. So yeah, so you can see a slight little lip there, but very hard when you're plunging a saw. So that'll get some white paint on it now, because it's a bathroom. It's a solid door, fire door I think, so very heavy. So I didn't want to try and take it downstairs because I'd need 2 people. So that's sorted. Glad with that. So we're going to get silicone in around here now, around the perimeter. I've got to do it all the way down because we had to chisel this tile out, and around there, silicone around the bottom of the toilet. Sort this. This is raised. I'll have to look at probably a different, if the customer doesn't like it. Some of them are like that, you see them all different, but it depends. The flush valve was 40, so I put a different one on, and trouble is it's this. I will look for one, so I just need a slightly smaller diameter, but there's no lip on this either, so I've just got to adjust the height of the fill valve now. It's all these little snaggy jobs, isn't it? So yeah, so there's got a screw there on the fill valve. Don't want this falling off, so I'm just adjusting that up a bit more now as we go. So you screw it, I can't remember which way it is, but it's the other one. I'll do it in a minute. So you adjust it on there, want it a little bit higher. That's my overflow, so I've set that height on the overflow. Let me get the light on so you can see. So that's your overflow. You can move that upside down. That's on this one, it's linked to the flush valve. Okay, and that's cable operated. I don't really like them, I like the air ones because these can corrode. And the fill valve, the adjustment screws on there, and I'm just adjusting that up now as we play with it. So silicone around the bottom of there, and I want to check the compression fittings. I need to do them slightly tighter, so do that and clean up the floor and go home. And oh yeah, put the cabinet on, put the mirror on, go home, get paid. Hold tight. Later to do this will probably get some tiles around it, or the customer, and he might want this painted, so we'll discuss that. That's for the future. I've done the toilet seat, tightened up the bolts under here. You just lift the lid off. There's some Phillips head, Torx head. Just tighten them down, don't over tighten them, but they do sort of move sometimes. I've adjusted it also, the lips all level, so that'll get a clean in when I finish. I've adjusted the fill valve so it's filling up properly now. Done. Next step, clean the floor, because then I want to start siliconing round the bottom bead of the toilet and a little bit round the edge in there. It's siliconed at the back, there was no holes for screwing it to the wall. Silicone at the bottom, and then I've done the mounting into the floor, which you saw on Saturday. So clean this. I use this extra strong first wash, that brings it up. Get the grout residue off there and there. Oh, I've got to tighten that. I've seen that's loose. Always do a little bit extra for the customer. No problems at Oxfordshire Pro Tiling, just solutions. And then we've got silicone down here now. So floor, wall, silicone, and we're nearly done. Hold tighty whitey, yes, and I get paid. Which I self-assembled, which I totally forgot about the other day. It cost me an hour and a half. I've got to put that and the mirror on. So do that first, get the dirty jobs out of the way. Then I'll clean the floor and the walls. Do it in that order, because we can keep all dust out and everything. Then the silicone is your last thing, because then you don't want any dust or dirt going in that lovely white silicone. So I've used my amazing Marksman pen, green dot there, look, push it through. I've got one up, it's really hard because the wall's all bent, so it's twisting. I'm on my own, so I'll get the one screw in, then I can do the other afterwards, sort of lever it around the thing. But to get one hole done at the moment, then I'll plumb it level. I can't do it the other way. So, and I can't film it because you don't need to. I'm just explaining afterwards, if that makes sense. So hope this is helping, this top tip. So got to adjust the doors a bit. Put some silicone in there to hide the screws. Okay, adjust that door for the latch to toilets in, lovely. Still a bit out that sometimes, but anyway. Mirrors on, beautiful. Clean, just little snaggy things now, so I've hoovered the floor. That's going to get a wipe over. Well, and then that dry, then I can silicone the bottom bead of the toilet. We know the toilet's working now, so that's why I fully silicone it up now. Otherwise, you get horror stories and you have to pull it all out. So never silicone the bottom till you're ready. This is when people rush and try and silicone and grout at the same time and all that. The silicone is done last, and then you leave the bathroom and let it all dry up, because otherwise you get dust and dirt and shit in the silicone and it all goes to rat poo. So silicone now there, silicone in there, silicone around the back of here a little bit. This will be done at another date. We're going to paint this, I think, or I might tile. I've got some spare floor tiles, so I'll suggest we tile around there with a nice trim at some point. I've rechecked the compression fittings because they can loosen a bit. They add the joint compound and everything in. Got a nice new isolation valve on there. So that's all good, the plumbing. So yeah, I've checked the waste. Hopefully, sometimes you can get a leak on these 110mm waste, soil wastes. But I think it's fine. You know, at the end there, if I have to pull it out, I do. I just unscrew it, take the silicone off, pull it back, and we have a look and break the silicone. But that's why I wait a day and test the toilet fully before you fully silicone it up like today. That's had 3 days to sit. We've got no leaks from the close couple donut in there, and I can't see any leaks at the back. I flushed it a few times before I pushed it all the way in, because we used a Flexi 110mm. So the next step is clean the floor. I've got this lovely first wash, takes a lot of the grout residue away. So I'll give that a wipe over, and then we're going to silicone and go home. It's a piece of cardboard. Nozzle size has got to be the size of the gap you're trying to seal. So I carry various nozzles, and then obviously I bin them at the end and get the. So I normally get. I've got pretty good at estimating the width. If it's too thin, it'll just all pour over the edge of the nozzle. If it's too thick, it'll all go over the edge of the material, like the tile and the bath. So I've packed it in there. I don't cut it. The nozzle I cut straight, not at a 45 angle. And then I pack the silicone in, right? So it's fully filled in all there. I'll leave it for a minute or two. And then I'll show you what I do. I use my crane things. I'll put a link in the description. My crane tools. So here's the one I've done already, the toilet. So I've packed it all in there. Always put a bit of silicone on these silver covers, because they always pop off and you'll get called back. So silicone, then once it's packed in, clean it all off. Use a head torch, and then you can really see the residue on the side of the toilet and on the tile, because you want to clean that off, otherwise you'll see it. Always wear a head torch. I do it when I'm plastering, because you can see things that you'd never see normally, so then it's perfection, isn't it? So look, all around the back there. Let's turn the torch. There you go, lovely and neat. Silicone that on, so that's good. Silicone those little screw covers. So once I get what I do is you bring it along, get a little bit on there, then I use kitchen towel and a wet clean it off with a kitchen towel, the excess silicone, and then I use a wet wipe to fully clean this off. You've got to work really clean because silicone goes everywhere. So I'm going to clean this off now. I pick the profile I want, work it along, clean all the edges, clean off my tool with my kitchen towel and my wet wipes. These are the ones from Screwfix, Ultra Grime, not Crime. And it's just practice. Just stay clean. Always use a piece of cardboard to put stuff on. Alright, hold tight. Hello YouTubers, so I won't go into the massive details of how I work out diesel, fuel, materials. Me, I help someone out. She's a friend of a friend. I enjoy doing it. I was left there on my own, so I don't just take any job. I pick and choose what I want. So for me, yeah, people will say that's ridiculous, not enough. Some will say it's overcharged, but I'd say 4.5 days actual on the job and half day estimates, admin, etc., because I'm a limited company sole director. I was happy with that. So there you go, £1,702. So hope you like my videos. This is some after shots I've taken. I'm very happy with the result. Please like, subscribe and comment.